Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am here tonight. It is Friday night and I'm here with a conversation. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm in my new studio and I'm gonna get it set all up, and I think I'm gonna do some backdrops and things like that just to make my recording area a little bit more, comfortable and relaxed and appealing to you guys. But I am happy to have this space here in my place to be able to do my recording and get my lighting set up so that it can be great when I decide to show my hair, or if I have some type of lip color or something that I want to show, that I can be able to present it to you and it come across to you guys great. But tonight, it's not about all of that. Tonight I'm going to be talking about a subject that I left on my podcast channel today. If you have not started to follow me on my podcast channel, I think I do leave it in a lot of my videos. Please download the app, CASTBOX.com. I'm going to scroll it here. And my channel name is You Go Girl. It is CASTBOX.com. So I would love to have you all following me and join the conversation. I talk about everything on that channel. That channel is kind of like a journal for me. I dig into some of my deepest thoughts and share some of my experiences that I have not shared here on this channel here on YouTube. I think I'm a little bit more comfortable on CastBox because it's audio. It's a podcast, so it's not like I'm looking into the camera, and I think I can feel more relaxed and express myself. But I do want to talk about a topic that I did leave there. And the topic, the title of that topic was, Are You Wearing a Mask? And I wanted to come share that here on YouTube because I think that we all wear masks from time to time. You know, when you think about a mask, you think about maybe a masquerade ball, or you might think of Halloween. And the mask you put in front of yourself, and it hides who the person is behind this mask. So you can present yourself as whoever this character or whatever this is that you're presenting in the mask. You can actually present that to the world and pretend to be that particular person, but the real person lies behind it. And I think a lot of times we all have done that. I use the example of being in your work environment. A lot of us are doing jobs and showing up to our places of work, doing things that we don't enjoy doing at all. We kind of settled into doing it because maybe because of financial issues. It could be because you started a family early. You may be going to school, trying to start a business. You know, you could be an entrepreneur and you have to do things on the side to try to get, your business up and going. So a lot of times we have to do different jobs, or it could be just that you didn't follow your dreams coming out of high school and you had to find something that you could do, and you just found a job that you stuck to and you decided to do. So a lot of times we show up to these places wearing a mask, being someone that we're not truly, but having to do the job, so we have to present ourselves that way. And I think that is in a lot of areas of our life. I think we wear masks. I also share the example of, being a Christian. Many of us, and this is a very sensitive subject, but, I think it's one that needed to be shared. Many times people are judging you based on what they see. People in the Christian environment, do a thing that, where we assemble each week, different days of the week, to worship and praise our Heavenly Father. But a lot of times people who show up to worship are not really those people, because when they're away from the assembly, they're living their lives like everybody else, doing everything that everyone else has done. And when you're following truly the Word of God, we do know that it's a called out group of people. And that means that you change your lifestyle. You stop doing some of the things that you used to do. You don't talk and act the way you do because you're trying to live and live in the image of Christ. You're trying to be Christ-like. So a lot of things that you used to do, you don't do anymore. You know, no matter what it is. I won't get into a list of all of the things because I could be sitting here all day. A lot of times people want to just use certain things like killing and murdering, lying, and, you know, committing adultery and stealing, when there's a host of things that we do that we should not be doing, that would not be Christ-like. But in saying all of that is, a lot of times people want to judge you based on what they see. They see this person showing up every Sunday or midweek or whenever you have you know, classes at your congregations or churches or whatever you go to worship, and they feel that that's you. And then when they see you in the public, they don't see that same person. So I'm challenging everyone to look at themselves and ask yourself, are you wearing a mask? I began that truly a few years ago, and God is always working on me, and I continue to evolve each and every day. And sometimes I realize that things that I have chosen to do for myself in my life is not where I should be. You know, that could be in anything. It could be in your career. It could be where you worship. It could be who you choose to date. You know, sometimes the awakening happens in you and you realize that everything that you thought you were doing is not what you truly should be doing. Whatever your purpose might have been in life may be something totally different, but you've been wearing this mask for years, doing these things, and you just continue to do it because you're afraid to step outside. You're afraid to remove it. You're afraid to let people see who you really are. And when I made a decision to truly remove my mask, it was the unveiling of who I really am, and allowing people to see that person and to either accept that person or not. And in doing so, there were some changes that I had to start making in my life. And it had to do with, you know, people that I was involved with, things that I used to do. And when that happens, a lot of times it can greatly impact your life on many levels. You lose friends a lot of times, or people are uncomfortable with you, so they make a decision that they can't really be around you because of the changes that you've made in your life. And even with me realizing that I have a greater purpose than the things that I do daily in my career, and trying to change those things, I have been taking a class on and off, and the fear of failure has kept me over the years from completing that class. I could have done this years ago, and on and off, and, you know, being afraid has kept me from doing that. And so now I'm embarking on that again. Also in my spiritual life, realizing that even though you love people, sometimes you realize that your path, your journey is different. You know, I am a minister. You know, I have been given the gift from God to minister to people, whether it be by encouragement or uplifting or motivation, or simply trying to give of myself to people. You know, one of the greatest things I've learned about being alone and sometimes being sad or being depressed is giving to people who are like you, people who have gone through some of the things that you have experienced or are experiencing. Being able to give to that person the things that you desire actually in turns feeds you as well. And so those are the things that I'm doing, realizing that I don't want to be in some of the places that I used to be. And to me, to be riding that fence is being hypocritical, you know, and realizing that a lot of times the people that I call friends are not going to understand that, you know, because they are doing something totally different. And in my spiritual life, I have realized that, you know, I need to be, you know, in an outreach. I need to worship where people are actually in the community with the people that are trying to help people that don't have things, or, you know, even just the necessities of life. You know, I want to minister to people who don't have hope, you know, it's very easy to sit in four walls every Sunday, every Wednesday night, and sing praises and to commune and to fellowship and to listen to a sermon. But it's a totally different feeling to be able to give of yourself to someone. Creating events for me is a good thing. The annual giveaways or the annual feed the poor, feed the hunger, the clothe, the poor, or give the school supplies away. Those are all great things, but to have an ongoing process is what I'm looking for. And I have been seeking that out in my spiritual life, and really not talking to people, because people don't understand. The only thing people look at is, did you go to church on Sunday? Did you go to Bible study on Wednesday? Not realizing that to actually be a Christian is to serve. And serving is not just sitting, listening to a sermon every Sunday. So my life has evolved, and I have removed my mask, and I'm living and trying to step into my greatness, into my purpose of life. And in doing so, things and people are going to fall off. And I'm realizing that. And, I moved away from home 2 years ago and relocated back to the city that I had lived in nearly 10 years. Well, it wasn't quite 10. I think it was going on 7 or 8 years. And thinking that this was where I was supposed to be, but realizing that it's probably not, and allowing myself to be okay with that, and knowing that when I leave, I'm going to leave behind some great people, some great friends and relationships that I've made, but honoring my truth, honoring my purpose is what I'm seeking. And that's in everything, in the way that I live my life. I share a lot of my life here on YouTube. I do vlogs, and a lot of times I allow people to see the entertainment or the fun that I take part in. And a lot of times I let you see the vulnerability of myself. And I've shared my relationship challenges, and why I'm single. And people have chosen to voice their opinions and their thoughts and their things about that. And that's all well and fine. But it is my journey. It is my purpose, that I'm taking, my course that I'm taking. And it's not going to be for everybody to understand. And realizing that God has something really big for me that I should be doing. I have a big purpose in life, and I see it. And sometimes I want to rush it. And I want to just put my hands on it, and I can't, because it's a process. It's a journey. And there's things that he wants me to learn, and things that I need to grow in, areas that I need to grow. And sometimes I get in my feelings, and I think that is the work that he is still doing in me, allowing me to allow me to realize that I don't have to have a reaction to everything that people do or say. Sometimes you have to just be able to allow them to have it and just go about your life. Oftentimes I hurt a lot. And, from my family members, my children, my mom, my father, I have a lot of scars from things from growing up, and realizing that the only way that I really truly will get through that is to allow myself to just move through it and accept the fact that it happened, and that there's nothing that I can do to change that. But I can use every experience, every heartache, every little pain that I've suffered or felt in my life to benefit someone else who may at some point in their life have to go through something similar or something just like that. And that's what I do when I share about my life. I wanted to talk about the death of my sister. That has been very difficult for me to talk about, because she was murdered. And it's very difficult for me because I was very close to her. And I think a lot of times people don't understand, even with it being more than 32 years ago, that I remember. So my camera died, guys. I guess I was talking too much, but I'm going to wrap this up really quick. But as I was stating, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the whole domestic violence. I think it's a topic that women need to hear about. There are a lot of women that are suffering from domestic violence. People who live through being abused every single day of their lives, don't have an out. And I want to talk about it and share that. And I know that I'm going to have a tough time uploading that and talking about it because YouTube is very sensitive to topics that they view as being controversial or kind of, I guess, could be hurtful or, even though it's for knowledge, but you just have to be very careful. So I'm going to get that video uploaded at some point when I'm able to talk about it myself, because my video died, my camera died at the right moment because I started to get emotional, because even though it has been that long ago, I'm still very, very sensitive to that. But just to wrap up, what I'm saying is that being able to live your life freely and fully, being who you are, being able to show who you are to the world, and even just allowing people to accept that or not is a great feeling. Sometimes when I talk to some of my friends, I think they really don't get me. And sometimes I get frustrated because I feel like I don't have to explain myself. But sometimes I think about, well, if they were used to me being a certain way and then all of a sudden I change, maybe I do owe them an explanation as to where I am. But I get to the point sometimes where I feel like, life is moving on. And I watched and I've heard a lot of my friends, heard about and watched a lot of my friends die. And to know that you died fulfilling your purpose, I don't think it's nothing better than that. And to not be sitting and wishing, that you had done that. I have read in several books and just quotes where older people or seniors have said that was their biggest regret. And that's not doing the things that they always wanted to do. And, being afraid. And I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid of how people view me or what they think of me. I know that I have a divine purpose that is to be what I'm doing right now. And it's so funny to me because I was a shy young lady when I was a little girl. And I just know that God is using me to speak to people. When I receive messages and emails, or people, send me a quick message and they say things to me like, I thank you for that message, or thank you for sharing what you went through, and I'm dealing with this right now, and I'm hoping one day that I can be like that. That is just something that I can't explain to you, to know that someone felt that my story, my message gave them hope. And that's what it really is all about. I used to want to do mission work when I was young. I wanted to travel overseas and help people. And I knew that all of this is working together for a purpose. And so this is it. And I'm glad that I have this platform and other platforms to be able to talk about my life and to talk about the things that I've overcome and the challenges that sometimes I still face. Because it's to sit here and to try to say that you got it all together and that everything is perfect would not be the truth. We're constantly growing every single day, and that you have to allow people to see that. But every time you accomplish something or you overcome a challenge or a struggle, it makes you stronger for the next one. So I think it's very important to just continue to share. And I've been trying to write a book for the last 5 years, and I have stuff down, and I think I was afraid to let people read it or share it to the rough draft. But I think I'm going to get it together and try to do an ebook or something, just to have some tips, or just to share things about my life, or how I overcome certain things and how I find peace in my life. I have my abode, my home is my abode. It's my peaceful serenity. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't entertain, because I don't want anything to take away this peaceful spirit and balance that I have in my home. I'd rather meet people out and entertain like that. And I love that. And I'm not a recluse. Don't get that, because you see me out. You know that I go out and I do things, and I'm out in the community. I love travel, love nature. I love being out. I love music and art. And I'm going to always bring those types of videos just for entertainment, just for fun. And but I do have some things I really want to do, and I'm going to share that with you guys here on my channel and on my podcast channel and all my other platforms. So you guys follow me on Instagram. Instagram is more of a family thing. I just post things about myself, my family, or things like that. But my podcast channel, my YouTube channel are my channels that I would like to reach and touch people and get to know people. I hope you guys will send me emails, and I love to just talk to people, not so much all the time here on the, in the comment section, but also just personally. So thank you guys for listening. Remove your mask, work on removing your mask, and just living fully the person that God intended you to be, and not worrying about what people think or how people see you, because it is your life. No one else can step into your shoes and live this life for you. It is yours. So that's all I have this evening, and I'm going to end this video now, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe and share, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. I wanted you to see my shirt. We are going to be celebrating MLK 50th anniversary of his death, and this is the shirt that they have, one of the shirts anyway, and I think it's very, very nice. And yeah, just wanted to share this with you guys. All right, I hope you all have a nice weekend, and I will see you soon, and I'm going to work on getting these walls looking right. Take care. Bye.